And we back, like I promised. Today, it's not gonna be like crazy long, but I wanna talk about women with children. Insert the clip right now.
And day my baby daddy come here with one fucking meal for my child. But I have 3 other kids. We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids? How come you can't feed my other kids McDonald's though? Like that bogus as hell. Like you're not finna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something to eat. Look, there he go, and I bet you he only got one thing in there. I bet you he don't even. I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Okay, what about my other kids? There's to the 7.
Lisa, is that my problem?
But if you're trying to help out though, you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
But how are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids, his siblings?
Lisa,
them are his siblings though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings and they're not eating on McDonald's. No, why do I gotta put...
Bring him out to the car. I'll let him eat.
No. He's not finna eat that shit at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
Lisa, so you're telling me that I gotta bring... So when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that shit dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you to talk to them other... You had them other kids. Them your responsibility. They're not my responsibility.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all. How do that shit look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids can't eat no fucking McDonald's? So you know I get food stamps on the 11th.
That ain't 3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Yeah.
Now, do y'all hear her delusional ass? Why on earth do she feel that anyone owes her or her children a fucking meal? Is she crazy? You see, you got to be careful when you're dealing with women with children. Especially hood rats with children. Because hood rats with children usually got dusty niggas as baby dads. And usually if they got dusty niggas as baby dads, they're extremely needy. The dusty nigga ain't putting in the work like he's supposed to be. He ain't taking care of his kid like he's supposed to be. She feel like she's obligated for somebody to take care of her and them kids, even though she laid her ass on her back and had them goddamn kids. She feel like the next nigga got to come pick up where the last nigga left off at, and he got to fill in all the holes this last nigga had was lacking. You feel me? So what she does is she punishes you. She punishes you as a man for all the heartbreak and heartache and difficulties that she dealt with before she even knew you. She punishes you because she understands that she fucked up. She fucked up big time. And now she has to find a way to compensate for her fuck up. And the only way to compensate for her fuck up is to place accountability elsewhere. The only way she can place accountability elsewhere is to blame you. Blame you. So to men out there that are in the dating world, that are in the dating pool, that are out there dating, things of that nature, I strongly recommend you stay away from single mothers with multiple baby dads. Now, here's a little caveat. I'm going to give you all the tidbits of it, right? So, if you are a single father with multiple baby moms, then you should only be dating women with multiple baby dads, because I feel like as a cesspool, y'all need to be staying together. You know what I mean? Y'all need to stick with each other. Y'all need to commune together. Y'all don't need to go infect the rest of the world with y'all bullshit. Y'all stay the fuck away from the rest of the world. So if you got multiple baby daddies or if you got multiple baby mamas, y'all should only be dating each other. You know what I mean? Just put a little inner connection or inner circle, inner web within each other, and y'all just stick to each other. Y'all need to leave the rest of the world alone because y'all are a fucking mess. But men out there, if you are in the dating pool, young men, older men, right? If you're in the dating world and you are dealing with a single mother, it is vital that you check the paperwork on that baby father. If he does not take care of the kid, stay far the fuck away. No, I won't say that. Because best case, here's the two scenarios that are ideal. The baby father is completely absent or the baby father is completely all in. No in between. If he's completely absent, he's useless. He's out the way. You never got to worry about him. If he's all in, that's good. He's typically going to be mainly concerned about the kid. As long as you ain't doing no crazy shit, he ain't going to fuck with you. You let him get his kid. That give you free babysitting time. They give you plenty of time with your girl. All that shit. Now, that only applies for a woman that has one kid. Now, once we start talking about a baby mom with multiple kids, even if it's with the same baby father, you got to be careful with that. You have to be careful with that. Because that can still cause a lot of issues with multiple kids. Because eventually she gonna need some type of assistance or some type of help. If a man ain't living in the house, a woman is always gonna need some type of assistance or some type of help. So either she getting some type of child support from the baby father, or she getting some type of help from social services. There's never a situation where a woman isn't getting some type of help as a single mother. It's either going to be from the baby father or from social services. One of the two. Those are great scenarios for you. Now, if you so happen to find a unicorn who ain't getting no help from the baby father and no help from social services, that is the worst case scenario you can be in because she going to be needing some help from you. She going to fall a little short on some shit and it's going to have to come from you. So make sure you understand that. That's important. That is extremely important. So when you're dealing with a woman with kids, it is almost important. It's your utmost important thing to do is to make sure you follow that paperwork. You got to find out where that father stands. Right? Now, what she's going to do is try and distract you because she wants you to understand that her and the baby father ain't messing around. So that's going to be her main goal, is to prove her and the baby father ain't messing around. That ain't your purpose of doing your paperwork check. Your paperwork check is to make sure where he stands in the kid's life so you understand how it's going to affect you financially. But again, there are two best case scenarios. Now, I don't advocate for men not to be in their kid's life. I think those type of men are pieces of shit, if I'm being completely honest with you. I think those are the lowest of the low, the dirtbags of the dirtbags. Those are the worst kind of niggas you can ever know. There's a man that don't take care of his kids. So that ain't what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if that man is completely out the picture, that's the best case scenario. Because now it's essentially, if you taking that woman serious, if you planning anything serious with that woman, that's essentially going to be your kid to raise. Especially if they're young. Especially if they're under the age of 5. If they're under the age of 5, that's essentially your kid to raise. So if you take that woman serious, you got to understand that's the responsibility you're taking on. No matter how many kids you have, understand that you're going to be taking that child under your wing too. Because as a man, you got to remember, usually the mother has custodial custody. So those kids, your kids, are going to be living with their mother. Her kid very potentially will be living with you. So now you're the father figure in that child's life. You have to think about those things. That's an important thing for you to think about. So when it comes to dealing with women with children, you have to think about those kind of things. So it's important you find out where that baby dad stands, right? I told you, two best scenarios, he's completely out the picture or he's completely in the picture. Those are the best scenarios. Now, I know a lot of times you dudes get fearful when the baby father is completely in the picture because you think that the baby mother's still fucking with him. You gotta do your research on that. Because who knows? You know what I mean? She may be ready to get her family back. He may be ready to get his family back. You have to do the research on that. You gotta start doing some interrogating. So I guess you're asking, well, Marv, how do I interrogate to find out if a woman will go running back to her baby father if he wants his family back? Well, you gotta check for the signs of their interactions when they're together. If she's acting like she's bothered or aggravated, or whatever the case may be with him, there's a chance she may go back to him. The moment that she's able to interact with him in a friendly manner, not a flirty manner, but a friendly manner, the moment she's able to interact with him in a friendly manner, having a mature conversation and keep the conversation on track, straight to the point, discussing the child, things about the child, making plans about the child, around the child, things of that nature. They're mature enough to say, hey, I'll be out of town on this date, through this date. Do you think it's okay if the kids stay extra on those dates? Once they get to that level of maturity with the co-parenting, that typically means the relationship or the romantic part is over. See, a lot of times people think when the mother and the father are chummy with each other that there's still a hope. No, that's the biggest sign of that there's no hope. The biggest sign that there's no hope is when they're able to have cordial conversations and everything is strictly revolved around the child. So, for example, I'll give you an example how I operate with my daughter. Me, my daughter, and her mother are in one group chat. Because the only time that me and my daughter's mother need to communicate is typically with my daughter. If we need to have any outside conversation about my daughter, we typically would call each other. But 9 times out of 10, any conversation we need to have about my daughter, we include her in that conversation. We don't need to have outside conversations about my daughter because everything, any type of communication that we would need to have would involve, or the subject matter would only be my daughter. We don't have anything else to talk about. We have nothing else to discuss. Anything that we need to talk about revolves around my child. So we put her in a group chat so she can see what her mom and her dad discuss about her. Because 9 times out of 10, we're communicating it to her as well. We do it in live. So, for example, right, we got this app. It's this app called like Power School or something like that that tells us the kids' grades. So if we see the grades slipping or the grades are up, we can go in that group chat and specifically direct that information to my daughter. So if I see my daughter grade slip, right, I would screenshot it, put it in that group chat and say, Maria, what's going on? So now her mom knows that I know that her grade slipped. And I'm about to have a conversation about exactly what's going on. And if her mom wants to interject in that conversation, whatever the case may be, she can do that. It tells us when she's out of school, when she misses school, when she misses a class, it tells us. So the app tells us a lot of information when it comes to school. So if I screenshot and say, hey, what's going on while you miss class, her mom can say, oh, wait, no, I had to pick her up for a dentist appointment. Or wait, I had to pick her up for this. You see what I'm saying? All of our conversation, all of our interactions is revolving around my daughter. So we keep that group chat open for me, her, and my daughter. Because there's nothing else to discuss. I don't need to ask her how her day was. That ain't my business. The only thing that concerns me is my child. So y'all gotta understand where that relationship stands with the baby father and the baby mother, right? So in my scenario, I am all the way in, but there's nothing there. There hasn't been nothing there for a decade or so. It ain't gonna be nothing there. You see what I'm saying? So there's no concern there. So that's an ideal situation that you fellas may want. You may want a situation where, damn, this dude is actively in his child's life. He's no threat. I can be happy with this woman. That's the situation that you want. What you don't want is that toxic shit where her baby father can upset her and ruin her day. Because now you got to deal with a woman whose day's been ruined by a nigga that ain't in the household who shouldn't be able to have the power to ruin her day. That means there's some feelings still there. You gotta watch these women with children. You gotta understand what type of relationship that woman has with that baby father, because that can tell you how you need to move with her. So again, there's only two unique scenarios you will want. Ideally, you want him all in. The reason why you want the father all in is because that relieves the burden on you, financially, emotionally, all that shit. That relieves the burden on you. Also, that gives you more time with the girl that you're trying to court, because the father, if he's all in, he's going to have that child often. So y'all going to have, like I said, you shouldn't be messing with no woman that got more than one kid. So if he got that child up off her hands, that's more time that you get to spend with her. She'll have a lot of additional free time because she has someone who helping taking care of that kid. She ain't got to beg her sister. She ain't got to beg her brother. She ain't got to beg her father or her mother to take the kid. The father is going to take that kid. So that's a nice scenario for you to be in when dealing with a mother with kids. The other option might be a little tougher, but is when the father's all the way out the picture. Again, once those emotional parts get over with, once she's done with that, she realizes she's on her own. She figures out how to deal with it on her own. She'll have babysitters. She'll have daycare. She'll have all that shit set up. And you come in the picture, all you gotta do is find your way. So you gotta understand that what you getting out of those situations with the mother and the kid. And you gotta understand the relationship. So you need to find out that relationship between that father and that mother. If it's anything beyond, we good, we co-parent, everything good, we got a nice little system set up, this is how we operate. If it's that, that's cool. Now, if it's her father ain't in the picture, he don't come around, I don't really want him messing up her life, so that's it. That's cool. If she start humming and humming, you don't want to deal with that. So you put her in that bag that you need to put her in, and that's it. So dealing with women with children, you got to be careful about that. Stay away from women that have multiple baby dads, especially with multiple kids, oh my God. It's the worst case scenario you could be in. Never want to deal with that. It's always some bullshit. As you heard in the clip, that woman had multiple kids, multiple baby dads. A fucking mess. Yelling at the man over some McDonald's food that he brought for his child. I blame him for because I found out that his child is the youngest child, so he didn't got into a relationship and had a kid with a woman who already had multiple kids. So I'm blaming him for that stupid shit. But she lost her goddamn mind. She thinks she's entitled to him bringing McDonald's or any food for all her other kids that she laid up and had, especially before he was even in the picture. So, fellas, make the right decision. Do what you're supposed to do. Ladies, stop having all these goddamn kids by all these goddamn niggas. Y'all keep saying, oh, you'll never know how somebody is. They're a deadbeat. You better off having a kid by a motherfucker with a kid so you can already understand what the motherfucker deal with when it comes to kids. So, do what y'all supposed to do. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, HVO Marv. Make sure you go listen to YouTube, everything, share, subscribe. Send me topics you want me to discuss. I'll make sure I break them down for y'all, let y'all know how y'all supposed to be moving. Other than that, this is the PPM podcast. We are out of here. Peace.